Well, that is a roaring fire. Your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare... Santa Claus... Santa Spear? You get it. Here to read you one of my favorite Christmas stories. A Christmas story that I myself, in fact, have written. The Hamlet Christmas Special. So, let's begin this now classic tale for the young and the young at heart. 'Twas the night before Festivus, when all through Elsinore not a creature was stirring, not King Hamlet no more. King Claudius and Queen Gertrude were snug in their bed, as cosy as the poison poured into the king's head. The guards walked the parapets, their hands balled into fists, going all in their minds their Festivus grievance lists. And I, in my period-appropriate sleepwear, had just settled my brain with nary a care. When out of the courtyard there arose such a kerfuffle, I sprang from my bed, my oaths not needing to muffle. I ran down the grand staircase where, to my surprise, the gloomy Prince of Denmark stood in front of my eyes. He was dressed all in black from his head to his toes, just a sad goth kid, the kind everyone knows. He held out his hands to me, empty, bereft, as if he must shew me he had not a shred of hope left. Hamlet, I cried, my friend, why art thou sad? For tomorrow is Festivus, with no gloom to be had. He smiled at me sadly, through his teeth blew a whistle, and then, like a jackass, took a bite of a thistle. Horatio, said he, 'tis good of thee to show. As for why am I glum, my friend? The answer's, you know. Well, is it because your father's been slain by your self-same uncle, who now with your mother has lain? The moon-rising full in the cold Denmark sky now give a glint of madness in Hamlet's raven-like eye. My friend, you don't get it. That's not it at all. The murder of my father is not why I bawl. Then why, my friend, do you howl at the sky? And wherefore, sweet Hamlet, is the reason you cry? I shall tell thee, Horatio, for 'tis not all that hard. I have not received a single, solitary Festivus card. This answer of his was beyond my belief, as he fell to his knees and cried out, oh, good grief. At this, Ophelia, sweet nymph, did quite suddenly appear, attended by poor players who were surprisingly near. Hamlet, my love, my dove, my dear sweet baboo, I have some words to provide some small comfort to you. As you know, for tomorrow the great hall we did rent, and I'd like for you to direct our Festivus pageant. He jumped to his feet, gave a shout of, that's it! And then flew to rehearsal, for the acting bug had bit. To the players he spoke, speak the speech, I pray. Suit the action to the word, for this our holiday play. The players then laughed and they jeered, for this was absurd. They danced to Schroeder's music and ignored the royal nerd. Ophelia then said, Hamlet, my love, my dove, you must now go and find us a Festivus pole for our holiday show. Let not the slings and arrows of seasonal affective disorder keep you from finding what is very near our Danish border. Be not morose and let sadness leave thy mind. Get the biggest, shiniest, most aluminiuminous pole you can find. I shall do this thing! Hamlet arose with a cry, and I went with him too to see what we could espy. We sought high, we searched low, we looked near and looked far. We scanned every pole lot neath the bright Yuletide star. What of this one, Hamlet? I asked of one in my sight. Nay, 'tis too tall, he replied, for the Festivus night. What of that one, my prince? Surely 'tis sound. I think not, dear Horatio. It's not worth gathering round. I saw yet another and announced it. Ta-da! Yet Hamlet said it doesn't have that certain je ne sais quoi. But then turning around in a bit of a fit, Hamlet fell to his knees and said, I found it. I know not, Hamlet, said I, 'tis awfully wee. Remember what Ophelia said, quoth Hamlet, I think it needs me. So to the rehearsal we two forged ahead. When Hamlet presented the pole, the players called him a blockhead. Hamlet cried, I don't get it, don't you all understand? Doesn't anyone know the meaning of Festivus in our land? I do, Hamlet, came a small voice. It's so very clear to see. The players looked shocked at the voice. came from me. "Lights, please," I requested as I took center stage. The lights came up with a thunk, which shooed off their age. In time so long ago begins our play, in a war-torn galaxy far, far away. A wise man was born and tried to bring peace to the land. He'd bring balm to the heart and hold an enemy's hand. He looked at the toil and strife and said that none of this works, and he writ down some edicts, the first saying, "Let's not be jerks. Just once a year let's stay down our mutual enmity and gather together for a feast of great solemnity. We'll air all the petty grievances that burden our soul, demonstrate feats of strength, and sing songs round the pole. No one knows who the wise man was, nor what his name might be, but there are some clues we have to discover his identity. Some people call him a space cowboy, others the gangster of love. Some people call him Maurice, for he descends from above." As I left the stage with a bow and a wince, I turned and let my gaze fall upon my good prince. He looked thoughtful and distant, his eyes they did roam. Said he, "I'm taking my pull, and I'm going home." Later we few saw the Pole standing there, alone and unadorned, in the frigid Danish air. "'Tis not a bad little Pole," said Ophelia, whilst holding beads. "All it needs is love. Love is all it needs." Just then we started, for we heard a great crash, and the Prince of Denmark rushed in, crying out, "Hamlet smash!" With his great sword raised up high over his head, he cried out to all that we soon would be dead. And as we all cowered, fear writ on my face, something altogether unexpected appeared out of time and of space. With a whoosh and a clatter, it came into view, and it was a box, rather ordinary and blue. Our mouths agape in wonder, the doors then opened wide, and a mad person stepped out from the boxes inside. Wrapped in a scarf and a very long coat, they gave us a smile that said they did not dare gloat. And then holding aloft some kind of a wand or a tool, I was left with the knowledge that bow ties are cool. "Hamlet," said the loon, a medical professional to be sure, "this is not the way. Death is not the cure. Please don't kill everyone who appears in this tale, for else we are doomed and this project would fail." "I have grievances," said the prince. "Yes, and they're true. Your dad murdered by your uncle, who then married your mum." "Ew." "That's not it," quoth Hamlet. "That's not it at all. I feel not the love of my friends, and that's why I fall. I am going through life, and it's all so very hard. And then I receive not a single, solitary Festivus card." "Hamlet," said the stranger, "this has to be tough. But I know that you are made from much kinder stuff. Sometimes we forget to include those who we hold dear. They become out of mind when they are not near. But I tell you, dear prince, it's all right to cry. Put down your sword and look up to the sky." Hamlet let go his sword and dropped to his knees, and as his face turned upward to the stars, he said, "Please." And in that one word, we all heard the love that we sometimes forget when push comes to shove. We gathered round Hamlet and we all held hands and sang the sacred song behind our friendship's bands. The mad doctor then smiled so very wide. Then stepped back into the box. It must be bigger inside. And as the box disappeared to the bells of St. John's, and the starlight shone all the snow-covered lawns, a voice came to us without rhyme or reason, and said, "Yes, we might all die in the spring, the killing season. But for now, just remember, kindness is the best gift anyone gives. And today, just this once, everyone lives." Friends, that was the Hamlet Christmas special on the night before Festivus. I'm your friendly neighborhood Shake Santa Spear. Shake Santa Spear. You get it. Thanks very much. Happy holidays. I love you, you love me. There's mutual glorious affection.